Errol Spence has one of the most ruthless, unbreakable, unstoppable boxing styles ever. And I'm going to break it down for you. But what y'all also don't realize is he has the best coach. He has Derrick James. Derrick James is a boxing savant. Derrick James is like Doctor Strange. I see 1,000 scenarios at one time and pick the right outcome. Yes, that's Derrick James. Each time you come back from around, Derrick James is going to give you the adjustments that you need to succeed. But we about to get into it. First, I want y'all to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And starting in July, we're going to start back live streaming. So y'all make sure y'all join the upper echelon family so we can have this great boxing talk about all things boxing. We about to get it in. You get Jaws out there. Now you think it's safe. No, Jaws ain't the epitome of greatness. There's something out there much bigger. Yes, you got it. And here comes Superbud. Come through and snatch it up. All is well in the world, right? Or wrong. You forget the Megalodon. Bud might have caught Jaws in the ichthyosaur, but he ain't ready for the Megalodon. And that's the big Spence, the Megalodon. Matter of fact, he ain't even a Megalodon. Errol Spence is the biggest. How can you measure what ain't been measured before? Captain Ahab reaching out fishing. You gonna catch something that you ain't mean to catch right there, because you can't catch the uncatchable, the Leviathan. Earl, the true Spence, strap season, man down, smoking on Bud tour. When Jermell Charlo was fighting Brian Castano for his championship undisputed, Jermell came to that corner that final time and Derrick James said throw a hook toward the shoulders. Jermell Charlo went out there and made the adjustment through the hook toward the shoulders. Brian Castano had ducked down and his face was right there, and it was all it was to rope. Derrick James is like Doctor Strange. He sees different outcomes. He plays different scenarios. He's a grandmaster in chess. He's like a Shaolin grandmaster. This is what he does. And Derrick James assesses his opponents, their strengths and their weaknesses, and he assesses everything that they could possibly do, everything that you can do to counter it, and everything that they can do to counter that, and you can counter that. And then he mixes it all together, and then he gives you the right way to go about it. And each time you come back at the end of the round, he has an adjustment. Every time one of his fighter comes back from a round, the next round, he always performs that much better, because Derrick James is the type who can make adjustments. And when you have a coach like that, it's hard to be beat. It's hard to be taken down, because Derrick James is there. He's like your Phil Jackson to the Lakers or to the Bulls. He's like your winning chip piece. And Derrick James is going to always make you succeed. And not only do he give you the advice and the stuff that you need when you inside the ring, he does what's most important. He gets you ready to get into that ring. Derrick James is going to push you to the limit of breaking. He's going to get your body in top-notch shape. He's going to have you like a honed diamond blade. He's going to have you to the point where you can do anything that's inhumanly possible. Yes, I said it, inhumanly possible, because his fighters are pushed to the brink to the limit. That's why Anthony Joshua and Ryan Garcia just joined the Derrick James family, because they know impeccable coaching right there. And they're also going to be a lot better fighters because of that. And Derrick pushes you. And not only does he push you, he gets down there and he does the workouts with you. If you notice, Derrick James has gotten in great shape. And he teaches gym to young kids. And he has only 5 boxers. He has 5 boxers because he want to keep you strong and unique and keep a tight core. And like Charlo said when they had the interview, you don't know the system. They don't know the system, because Derrick James has the system. And once you get into that system, then you in the know. And it'll be hard to beat one of Derrick James' fighters. Plus, one key thing that they work with is muscle memory and repetition. Derrick James is the master of 10,000 hours. When you push yourself to do something for 10,000 hours, your body takes over. You're in like autopilot mode. So Derrick James tries to get his boxers to that moment where they got 10,000 hours in. That way, their body can do it on their self autopilot. And when that body does that and your mind is free, then you're able to concentrate on the fight. And that's why his fighters are so sharp and so decisive in that ring. And their bodies are honed to perfect fit physical specimens. You're not going to beat a Derrick James fighter. And Terrence Crawford is going to find out when he gets in the ring. Because not only is he going against the brilliant mind of Dr. Strange James, he also has to go against Errol Spence and his unstoppable body barrage of shots. His shots even have a own name. I call it the 47 Raging Palms, because Errol Spence has a shot like an ancient Buddha, like an ancient Buddha Shaolin monk. And that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call Errol Spence the 47 Raging Palms. And he's going to unload the 47 Raging Palms on Terrence Crawford. And I'm about to break the 47 Raging Palms down to you. For his prize pupil in the boogeyman of boxing, he developed the 47 ruthless, raging, body destructing, soul disrupting, organ malfunctioning, defensive piercing, bludgeoning shots. What this consists of is he builds Spence stamina to a higher level, a level strong enough for him to throw at least 150 shots over 20 rounds. And he builds the body shots. Errol Spence is known as the body snatcher. When you in the ring with Spence, one thing for sure and two things for certain, you will get the body snatched. He developed a style of going to the body, then back up top. Derrick James has taught him how to transition from defense to offense within 100th of a second. When he throws the right, he blocks with the left, and as he throws the left, he comes up with the right. It's like he was a punching buddy, but he does it within 100th of a second so that the naked eye can't see it. You have to slow it down with a speed lens camera. But Derrick James also taught him how to get in the nitty gritty and to keep him away with the jab. Keep him away with the jab. Plus, he taught him that the jab starts everything. The jab is the end all, be all, start all, finish all. When you lead with the jab, it opens up the door to the house. Then you can go in any room, the front room, the living room, downstairs, or the basement. And Errol Spence likes to camp out in the basement. And he goes into your body. Then he goes up top to the head, back to the body. And it's called the 47 Raging Shots because it's like a kata in Kung Fu. If you watch the way the man moves so gracefully, every time, every fighter, you can put him in front of the punching bag or in front of the pads. Errol Spence fights in rhythm. He fights in an emotions of over 10,000 hours of training. Like I've explained to you, when you train for over 10,000 hours, you become a master. Over 11,000 a grandmaster, and over 14,000 hours, your body has muscle memory. And Errol Spence's body has muscle memory. And when you have something perfected, it's hard to change up perfection. But what you can do is perfect the perfected. And the only thing that needs to be perfected about Spence's style is building up the punch resistance. So as he punches, he expects to be hit back as he throws. But they building a resistance to the punches. That's why Errol Spence trains with light heavyweights and heavyweights and middleweights, so he can develop the shots and the defense to take the shots. And his power is so great in magnitude as he begins to unleash his barrage into his opponent's body that their hands drop. And when he starts into his combo motion, their hands drop and his hands rise. So you go body, body, head, head. Most people, once they feel the power and the shots into their body, your body instinctively, without your permission, goes to cover where you are hurt at. And when you go to cover where you hurt at, you leave your face open. And that's when he starts attacking up top. And Errol Spence has the best sparring ever because he has another of James' initiates in there with Jermell Charlo. So him and Errol Spence both going through the grueling Shaolin training, and they get to spar each other. I mean, high class, first rate in real-time sparring. Iron sharpens iron, and you got two diamonds rubbing against each other. When Errol Spence goes into the 47 raging punching, notice how he starts off slow at the bottom and then he comes up, and then it's in a pattern. You could put any boxer in there and it's the same. He measures with the jab. Once he finds his range, then he starts going to work. It's like a lumberjack with an axe bringing a large oak tree down. As many whacks will finally bring it down, and he's tenderizing the body. And as he's tenderizing the body, the meat is getting soft. And if you can't stand in there and take these shots and throw at the same time, then it's nothing you can do about it. But when you are throwing at the same time, you also set yourself up for danger, setting yourself up for pain. If you haven't put your body through the rigorous training of taking shots and delivering them at the same time with tenacity, then you're completely outworked. So the fight Errol Spence gained is to go in there facing certain loss. What people fail to realize and what they're missing is that Errol Spence has an impeccable defense. First off, the best defense is a great offense, and Errol comes with an offense out of this world. And his offense provides defense because he's throwing bludgeoning shots that hurt, that can cripple, maim, and disable. So to hit him, you gotta risk taking a shot into a sensitive spot. A lot of people will try it once or twice, and once they feel what comes, they're not too willing to trade. And so that slows the punch output of the opponent. Secondly, Errol brings his hand up into the phone booth position. As he's firing with the right, his left blocks. As he fires with the left, his right blocks. Plus he rolls with the shots and he turns his head while he's down there. A lot of people don't notice that. So that allows him not to get hit flush in a key spot. Plus it allows him to roll and filly out of it. But with that being said, the motor will get him over across the ocean, because when that motorboat starts running, a lot of people stall out, just like Ugas and most of his other opponents. So Derrick James, he seen that Errol had a high output, and he seen that Errol can take a shot. The man took a flying window shot from a Ferrari at over 100 miles an hour, only broke his mouth. That's what I'm saying. So Errol is the most complete, incredible fighter ever. He's like Hagler mixed with Leonard, mixed with Jones, mixed with power. And that's all I can say. People say Errol don't have power. He has demolition power. And when he comes out there, he's the demolisher. And people say he don't have all these knockouts, he don't hit that hard. See, the difference between Errol Spence and people like Crawford is Crawford hits you with a shot you don't see coming, so you're shocked and knocked out. See, when you see Errol Spence throwing it, you see the shot coming, so you brace for impact. And just because you brace, that means you can take more because you see it coming, but all it's doing is damaging you worse. Like when Houdini used to sit there in front of a cannonball and tighten up his stomach and take the shot. Yeah, he took a cannonball to the stomach, but eventually he died from a ruptured stomach. Yes, from taking them shots. And anybody that fights Spence while he's in his Shaolin technique of the 47 raging palms will end up destroyed. Mikey Garcia has just retired after going through the 47 raging palms. Look at Lamont Peterson, a shell of himself. Danny Garcia, 3 years before he got back. Kell Brooks, broken orbital. Keith Thurman, he's running. He don't want that. It's hard to stand toe-to-toe and go against the monster that is the 47 bludgeoning palms of Errol Spence. And he done developed it so perfectly because he's put in the hours, the patience, and the fortitude. He stays in the gym. Him and Derrick James perfected the craft. First they perfected the motor. Then they perfected the punching. Then the defense. Now it is a perfect craft. It's like the hidden boss, and he has that one shot that takes you out. Whereas Errol's shot is the 47 combo. Like Killer Instinct, when they say Ultra, Ultra, it's this Ultra combo. And once you get caught in it, once your motor slips, once you let him get close, and he starts working the combo, right then and there, your time is limited in the ring. Either the ref gonna stop you, the body gonna stop you, or he gonna stop you. But no one can sit there and take a full round of the 47 bludgeoning palms, especially when Spence has had strength and conditioning training. Because with him in strength and conditioning, he's a whole unstoppable monster. The 3 guys in a row that he didn't stop was because he went through fat camp. But now he's back and he's more focused. And Sensei James has got him in there looking for the final form. He's done reached Grandmaster stage. Now he's going for the final form. The elite form that's been hidden, the hidden dragon. And yes, with the teachings of Derrick James, who also works out alongside his students, it's just a matter of time before the 47 bludgeoning palms transfers into the Buddha palm, or the immortal palm, or some kind of palm that means the greatest of all times. And I'm not saying Spence is the greatest of all times, but he has a chance to become that way. And we only seen him at 147. He's gonna be a lot stronger and bigger at 154 and 160. Like he said, we haven't seen nothing yet. When he gets to that better, he's gonna be a lot stronger and more powerful. Then we get to see the real 47 bludgeoning palms, and we get to see what it would do to people. But right now, everybody that's faced Spence has had a lasting memory and a lasting impression of what he can do. Like Michael Irvin said, he's breaking motherfuckers' faces. Pardon my French. But yes, he's breaking people. And that's what you have to do, break people. Because boxing is a sport of pride and a sport of skill. And it's the only sport that you don't play. And the greatest way to take out your opponent is to break them, because they are all men in that ring, and no man wants to give up, and no man wants to be weak or a coward or lay down. So Derrick James devised a plan in which you can stop your opponent and still leave him some dignity. But anybody that goes in the ring with Spence, boxing life will lose a lot of years, because this man is not one to get in the ring with and be taken lightly. Because the 47 bludgeoning palm is a dangerous technique. I call it a forbidden technique, because it targets all your soft spots, all your chakra points, where he's hitting and digging into your ribs, your side, your liver, everywhere that's soft. And see, when you punching against something soft, you can let your hands go without worrying about hurting your hands. That's why Spence digs in that body. And if you take the body, the head will fall. So yes, the 47 bludgeoning palms is almost undefeatable. But who has found their way to beat it? Will we ever see it, or will we won't? It's up to the future.